Welcome. So, you didn't start your business because it was easy. You started it because something inside of you said, I have something to offer. I have something to build. I have a vision that's worth betting on. And that took courage, real courage. And the last thing you need is for a legal gap, something you didn't even know you were missing to be the thing that jeopardizes or puts at risk this passion, this dream that you put out there. So, welcome. My name is Joerika Stitt. I'm a licensed attorney and the creator of My Small Business Navigator. And before I tell you anything about legal documents or filing requirements, I want to tell you why I do this work. And so I'm very proud of My Business Navigator. This is a system that I built from the ground up based on my personal experiences, something that I wish existed when I was looking into becoming a small business owner, and something where folks have contacted my firm even when I didn't practice business law, saying, can you help me with this? And so I spent nearly a decade as a social worker before I became an attorney. And I sat with people in some of the hardest moments of their lives. And what I saw over and over again wasn't a lack of vision or a lack of drive. It was actually a lack of access. Access to the right information, access to the right services, access to the right support. And so the right people in their corner at that time, those people, those systems that they needed, they couldn't access. And that never left me. And so when I became an attorney, I started in legal aid. And so I work with two very known nonprofits in the state of Illinois. And that work resonated with me because I'm very passionate about access to justice. It's just that social worker that's in me. But eventually I went into private practice. That was challenging in itself, being a Black woman. But because I had that social work background and a law degree and a law license and actuals. I had litigated and did transactional work, litigation work, administrative work. And so I was a little different. I said, okay, I can't access, the big law attorneys that help the other folks, and I can't access the funding, that capital that's needed, right? But, I had this, a law license and some knowledge. And so I used all of that to my benefit. Thank God, by his grace and mercy, my business is thriving and doing well. But even when I wasn't practicing this area, folks were calling me saying, hey, can you help? I know you don't do this, but I see that you're doing your law firm. Can you help me? Can you answer this question? And so I'm like, okay, let me be a resource. And one of the other things that I noticed is that women and minority business owners and first generation entrepreneurs, they felt comfortable asking me questions. And, they had these really creative ideas, like a desire to build something real beautiful, meaningful, but they were like one bad contract, one lawsuit, one misclassification audit away from losing everything they had worked for. And it's not because these people were not smart. It wasn't because they didn't care or were not careful. It's because this legal system wasn't built with them in mind. They couldn't access all of that expertise and knowledge and skill that they needed to protect their interests, to do well, and to scale their businesses. And so I built something that was for these people who were contacting me, right? Because at first I was doing free stuff. And I'm like, after about a year of helping small businesses, like for free, folks that I met from church or we knew each other from elementary school, whatever it was, I was just helping folks. But I loved it so much, I said, let me turn this into something else. And so I built My Small Business Navigator. This is my newest navigator. And it really exists because your passion deserves protection, because the dream you're building deserves a legal foundation as strong as your vision. And because you shouldn't have to choose between protecting your business and paying your rent, right? And so when you work with me, you're not just getting an operating agreement or a client contract or an LLC filing. You're getting an attorney who has studied your situation, who understands what is at stake, who knows that behind every business filing is a person who believed in something enough to bet their time, their money, and their future on it. And that's something that I don't take lightly ever. And if you're ready to protect what you're building, the link to do so is below. My Small Business Navigator, built for founders like you who are done waiting and ready to build and access quality and affordable legal representation. You don't have to navigate this alone. And I look forward to working with you.